Hey guys, highly out here, and today we're finally reviewing Legacy Velocitron Speedia 5000 RID 2001 Universe Scourge. And yeah, I'll say that was a mouthful. I'll admit that was a huge mouthful. And yeah, Scourge was in the recreation I did for Bumblebee's death, so his arm should be, I guess, a little bit looser from having to hold up Bumblebee. But besides that, let's just get to the review. And, well, since this is a clear repaint of the G2 Laser Prime figure from Legacy, this will have some of the same problems of this figurehead, that being for one, unlike the Earthrise Prime legs, and makes him look like he's way taller. And like Aaron, as you can see, these are his legs, spanning from here, like right there at the hip, down, and here is his body. This is literally his torso up. His whole entire torso is smaller than my pinky. That is saying something. Like the Earthrise legs are not good. If they could at the very least paint like the hips the same, like coal black, the crotches, yeah, sure, the legs may still look long, but at least it won't look as long as it is with the hips being gray. Plus, if you couldn't tell, this doesn't really look like RID 2001 Scourge. This is just a Nemesis Prime repaint. And technically, the RID Scourge is, I guess, in some places a Nemesis Prime, but here in the US, it's Scourge. And this does not have the RID Scourge paint job. Now, I know there are some people who've added the RID paint job to this figure to make it look like, you know, who it's trying to be. But so far, the only thing that they've really gotten right about this figure is the fact that, just like in the show, there's light piping in the back of the head. Which, yes, Scourge does have light piping in the back of his head. Like, if you see here, Scourge's head does have light piping. Like, canonically has light piping. It's crazy, I know. And yeah, I guess you can count, you know, the shoulder pauldrons plus the magenta windscreen and whatnot, but that's about it. Like you can't just slap on a Nemesis Prime paint scheme, give this an RID Scourge head and call it a Legacy RID Scourge figure. Like if you want to give us a figure from RID, give us the paint job the character had. Well, what's the point of slapping a name on some figure, despite the fact it doesn't look like that figure? Like, it doesn't make sense. But anyways, let's get into the articulation. The head is on a pauldron, you know, free waggle. Plus you can cheat it for some up, but it looks weird. The light piping for this figure is actually not that bad because, as shown, it does have the whole back of the head here is light piping. And surprisingly, this color clear plastic can really take in some good light, because even in this light, and mind you, there's little light here, you can still see the eyes. But besides that, the shoulder pauldrons can move out. It looks weird though. It doesn't work that well. You can flip out these I guess these rocket booster thingies. Here, I like to show out some missiles, I guess. Same for the other arm. You can flip these out to move the arm, and yes, the arms are way too close to the body, and personally, I feel like way too low. Like, how can you get much movement from this? Because if you move your arm out, that is how far the arm goes with the pauldrons. It looks like he has baby arms. This is not good. But yeah, that's how far out the arm can move. This is how far back the arm can move. Look, it can go out this far. Look, and if you move the pauldron, that's the most. There is some backwards butterfly, but it does require some transformation. There is a bicep swivel, mainly for transformation, like an elbow joint exactly 90 degrees, and a swivel out at the wrist because this is on a bone joint here, as you can kind of see. There is a waist. The legs can kick out this far, back that far. A pretty good spread. You have an above 90 degree knee bend. A pretty decent rocker. Toe down and heel down. So this figure does have some pretty good articulation, besides the arms being a little bit babyish, but it's fine. So yeah, let's get to some size comparisons. This figure, well, and here he is next to Nest Bumblebee, who was also in the recreation I did, which you should go check out. Here he is next to MechTech B, who was the other viable Bumblebee option for the recreation, and whose MechTech gun was in the video. Yes, it was this. And here he is next to MechTech Prime. Of course he falls. But for accessories, here, Scourge's accessories are the oil tanker, which, yes, and just like nearly every Prime figure nowadays, the oil tanker can turn to some sort of base type thing. You can fold out. Yes, here's a transformation segment, quote unquote, and boom, here you have the quote unquote base. And here you can see the Energon axe he has. The sword he has. You can detach this turret gun thing for like a separate gun, but I rarely do detach it because, like, why? And this figure, as most primes do nowadays, comes with a matrix. And with how the hands are sculpted, you can, to an extent, get Scourge to hold the matrix in some weird way, despite the fact that Scourge, I believe, never had a matrix in RID, but okay. But anyways, let's get to vehicle mode. And here we have Scourge in his truck mode. And now, like if there's one thing that this figure had to get right, was the truck mode. And yes, it does look very Nemesis Prime-like, but But if you're an avid fan of RID 2001, you know it's Scourge. Plus, if you add the oil tanker here, which yes, it can stand here on its own, but if you do add the oil tanker on, now you can definitely tell that this is Scourge. And let me say, like the transformation it takes for the upper torso, like, you know, for the arms, it's pretty cool, right? Like the legs, it's, well, you can tell where the legs went by for, you know, like everything past the legs. It was a pretty neat transformation. And yeah, and if you remember from when I showed the accessories, well, here's the accessories. It's all in this thing. For instance, a weapon storage that is good. You know, it's like, if there's one thing good about these trailers, like, that they can be pretty good places for weapon storage, you know? But yeah, well, anyways, I guess for size comparison, here we have Scourge next to MacTech Prime. Here we have Scourge next to MacTech B. And here we have Scourge next to Nest B. And yeah, like, you can, you know, detach the oil tanker here and stand it up like that. But besides that, I don't know what else to really talk about the truck, to be honest. It's a truck. It's an oil tanker. It's something. I don't know what else to say about this, to be honest. It's a truck. It's nothing too much about it. Well, anyways, see you guys in the next review. I'm not funny, I know.